Well, greetings interwebs. Today is going to be quite different. We're not doing my regular things I cook all the time. Today we're doing exotic and foreign. This is a Turkish breakfast dish called Menemen. It's eggs and garlic, olive oil, basil, cayenne pepper, a red pepper, some crumbly feta cheese, diced tomatoes, and an onion. Now, the onion, there's some debate on yes or no. It's kind of heated with some people, yes or no on onion. I like onion. I'm choosing the onion. So let's get cracking, shall we? Okay, so let's get going on prepping the ingredients. Now, I have tomatoes in the fridge. I could chop them up, but let's go buy a can of nice diced tomatoes. Save myself some headaches. And really all I gotta worry about is cutting up an onion and a bell pepper. I'll speed this up so you don't have to hang out. Well, the recipe only calls for half a bell pepper, so I'll just save the other half for later. Now, time to prep the skillet and get things started. So for the next part of the recipe, we heat up our skillet, put in some olive oil, calls for 3 tablespoons, but that's about right. Spread it around, let it heat up, because we're going to start cooking this here right shortly. You know, in researching this recipe, I realized 1, maybe 2 ingredients, and it would be a typical Southern breakfast. Add a little cheese to it, maybe some grits, and of course some bacon. And it wouldn't be any different than any other breakfast. So, kind of neat. We're not that different, I guess. Okay, onward and upward with the rest of this stuff. I'm actually going to measure ingredients. Yeah, I know. Weird, huh? But yeah, I'm going to try to measure things out and do this, like I said, properly by the recipe. So, let's get to it. Our pan is nice and heated. The oil is nice and runny. It calls for 1 cup of red peppers and 1 small onion. That's about right there. Dump that in, along with 1 teaspoon cayenne pepper. Just 1 teaspoon. You don't want too much. This stuff can be a little potent. Yeah. Now we just stir it, simmer it, let it cook 5 minutes. Woo! Already popping. Okay, we're down to about 15 seconds left. You want to just cook this until they're soft. And here, dump in the tomatoes. That's really probably a little too much, but I like tomatoes. Calls for 1.5 cups. And it calls for 3 cloves of minced garlic. So I'm just, dumping in some garlic. Guesstimating 3 cloves worth. of my minced garlic. Now you let this cook 1 more minute. However, be careful not to let it dry out. Now, I couldn't get a good estimate for salt and pepper. It said you just said, everything I read said add some salt and pepper. So I'm just going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Kind of just guesstimating with the amount of stuff I have in the pan. Continue to stir. Like I said, let it go for like a minute. It gets all good and mashed up together, but do not let it get all dried out. That'd be a bad thing. And if you got a good 2-handle nonstick pan like this, you can really even it out like that. Okay, for our next step, 5 eggs. You just beat them lightly. You're just breaking them up. You don't want to whisk them into like anything too crazy. Really, really neatly frothed and blended. You just want to mix them up a bit. This isn't even quite the consistency of regular scrambled eggs. Then, get off there. Pour it around. You want it to get in all the nooks and crannies, but don't mix it. Like to kind of sit on top. Kind of tilt it a little so it gets in all the little areas. I've turned the heat down to low. Let it just sit and simmer for a little bit. But we don't want to get too crazy with the cooking. We're just going to let it simmer for the moment. You can see here, I'm starting to cook up a bit. I'm going to turn the heat back up a little. You want to let it sit for a couple of minutes. Just until it starts to set good. Hear that bubbling? To hold the heat in a bit, and put the lid on it. And help it cook, shall we say, thoroughly. We'll let it do this for about 2 minutes. And once it starts to set really well, we'll turn the heat off, but leave it sitting to continue to cook like this. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes, and the egg mixture is setting up pretty good. You can see. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat. It'll still sit and cook into the juices. Now on top, got some basil. You can use paprika. I just like basil a little better. Sprinkle that around the top. Now you can also add some more cayenne, or if you're feeling really slightly different, little crushed red peppers as well. Me, I'm not going there. I'm going to put the basil away. Now we just let it sit here for a little while and continue to just cook and cook. And then we'll serve it with tortillas. You can use crumbly bread or even toast or tortillas. See, this really wasn't all that difficult. Seems exotic, and it is. It's like nothing I've ever actually made before, but then again, it is very similar to the things I've made. The cayenne and the basil, yeah, that's a little different. But the tomatoes, the onions, the peppers, heck, I'd throw some spinach and cheese on it and call it an omelet. But nope, it's called Menemen, and it's a Turkish breakfast. The one thing I did forget, I kept saying you put cheese on it. You actually get crumbly feta cheese and sprinkle around the top. I know I was forgetting something. Yeah, there we go. Now we let that sit and melt. Then we'll serve it up. Well, here we go. Our delicious Menemen. Just cut it up like a pizza. Get off a nice little triangle. I have my tortilla already on the plate. Flipping some of this onto the plate with it. Let's see how this turned out. Ooh, that's hot. See that steam coming off? There's a lot of different flavors working in there. Getting a little bit of bite from the cayenne. Nothing brutal, just enough of a bite to know that it's there. And of course the acidity from the tomatoes. I didn't get any cheese in that bite. Let me try a little over here. So the flavor of the cheese is there, but it's not overpowering. You just kind of notice it with the rest of the flavors. They blend quite well. Like I said, throw some bacon with this and it'd be pretty awesome. When I make omelets, I generally pour salsa over top of them. This really doesn't taste all that different than my regular cheese omelet with salsa. So there you have it. A nice, exotic Turkish breakfast. And yeah, this would probably be well with toast, I would imagine. Really good with tortilla too. So there you have it. My first foray into exotic foreign cooking. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Should I do more things like this? Or just continue with the simple, easy stuff that I already know how to do? Let me know what you think. And if you would, please, subscribe, give me some likes. Let YouTube know that my channel is not so bad and should continue. And on that happy, hungry note, good seeing you.